right, welcome, esteemed audience. Thank you so much for joining us again today. We have a really important community discussion that we're going to have with our esteemed guest today, Dr. Min Yang. As many of you already know, Dr. Yang is the father of Young Yang, who was tragically killed in a LAPD and DMH incident here in Koreatown several months ago. I'd just like to say to you, it's very brave of you to come out and talk about this. We believe that this is going to lead to, improving our community, and perhaps it's going to prevent similar situations and tragedies from happening in the future.
Yeah, I know this was a difficult choice to come here and talk about this incident again. We don't obviously wish to cause more anguish than it already has caused. But like Alex has said, this is very important because I'm a Korean American myself. My experiences are probably similar to yours and your son's, growing up dealing with authorities and dealing with other people that basically do not understand our cultural background. And, I sympathize with you for that.
Thank you.
So, just leading off, I want to make sure that the community and our audience, they kind of have a little understanding of you and, your family, where you come from. Can you give us a little background of where you were born and when you came to the United States?
Okay, I was born in Seoul, Korea, 6.5 decades ago.
Oh, okay.
And then
you look much younger than that.
Yeah, you do. Thank you. And I had Young and Ian in 1984, and then that year I moved to Los Angeles to study in USC.
Okay.
So I studied chemical engineering in USC and got my PhD in 1991. And ever since Young and Ian came over here in 1984, their life is only in Los Angeles for 40 years. And basically, LA is their home.
I see.
And it's very ironic that in the very core of Los Angeles, where Young and In's hometown, Koreatown, Los Angeles, Young has to leave suddenly. So still I cannot believe it.
Yeah.
Even though I saw Young's body for, I don't know, maybe a minute right before the funeral, I still cannot believe that happened. That so quickly, without me knowing what's going on inside my home. I was on the street, and then I was expecting him ready to go to hospital. That's the only thing that I expected. I called DMH for help. He was not dangerous or violent. He was not in an emergency situation. He was just staying in my home alone. I just wanted him to go to hospital to have some help. Then I just heard the gunshots.
I see.
Yeah, I can't still believe it.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at that, it's shocking, right? I mean, I'm a parent. Sid's a parent as well. I mean, to imagine, standing by and even hearing, right, something bad going on with our children. I mean, I can't even imagine how you felt when that happened.
How did you know to call DMH?
Actually, my wife consulted with the 911.
Okay.
And then asked for this kind of help. When we need that kind of help, can you help? And then they said, no, we are not the ones. You have to call to DMH.
So this was the first time you called DMH?
My wife called the DMH the first time.
Okay.
The day before the incident.
I see.
But my son's encountering with the DMH had occurred before when he was alone in his apartment.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't live with us. Yeah, he was just merely visiting me and my wife.
Did the DMH guy know your son before? Did he say?
No, he's the first time.
He's just basically a dispatch.
That's right. He was dispatched.
Got it.
And
then did he identify himself as a part of the PMRT?
When he showed up, he didn't give me the name card or anything. I just saw his name on the tag
Okay.
on his neck. Yeah, so I didn't know anything about him. I just knew that he's from DMH. He's here to help.
Yeah.
So I would just give 100% trust at the
Did
point.
he speak Korean to you?
Yeah, he spoke Korean to me.
It seems like it from the video that he actually his first primary language is Korean.
I guess so.
And then what did he say to you in Korean?
He said, "Oh, I'm from DMH or whatever," and then we didn't have much talk. We just okay. He knows why he's here, and I know why he's here there. So
What did you tell him?
oh, let's go
You didn't tell him what's going on, like
because my wife called them
already
and
explained.
talked more than 20 minutes already. So they must know everything. That's my assumption. They know everything. They came here to assess my son's situation and try to take him to the hospital for 72-hour hold or whatever, because that was my wife's conversation with DMH.
Okay.
So I didn't say much.
Did the
Just-
DMH guy try to talk to your son outside the door before you opened the door?
No.
Okay.
No.
Did DMH guy obviously try to speak to him at some point, right?
While I was talking like Young is dad, and then at first he said that he doesn't know me, and he doesn't want me to come in. But he said, if you are Dr. Yang, you can come in. I don't know why he said that, but Young said, if you're Dr. Yang, you can come in. And he also said, if you have a key, you can open it, come in.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I don't want to speculate anything,
Yeah.
but he said that. So okay, I'll open the door, and I'll open the door. And when I opened the door, he was kind of like in loud voice, authoritative kind of voice. He identified himself, Mr. Yang. I am so and so. I don't know.
Did he say it in English or Korean?
English. Yeah, I'm from LA County Department of Mental Health or something like that.
Yeah.
But in a loud voice. So I was kind of,
You're surprised.
well, why shout,
Right.
And then I opened and I stepped in, 1 step, 2 step, and then he was entering the apartment behind
you?
me.
Okay.
So I was, can he wait? Because I'm opening the door and walking in, and why he has to come.
So he
Right
didn't tell
in.
you what he was going to do.
He's
before you guys
just
started.
behind me and stepping in, and my son got startled. And who is this? Who are you? Don't come in, and that kind of situation. And then, Young, he's from Department of Mental Health. Well, let's go to the hospital and that kind of stuff. And then, Young was kind of resisting. It's not resisting. I think it's a natural response. He said something like, "Get out!" Who are you? Why are you coming in? That kind of stuff. Talking to that guy, I think, behind me. And then Young was talking himself like, "Can he come in?" He was hearing some auditory or oral hallucination, I guess. He was talking to somebody like, "Can he come in?" And no. So I backed up. Okay,
Young didn't
we don't want
do
to.
any physical.
He said, "Get out." And then
Okay,
okay, and then
He pushed you or he pushed
yeah,
Okay.
get out. So okay, I don't want to make any
And
problem.
you walked out.
Backed out and then closed the door behind me.
Got it.
So it took from the outside the door, getting inside the door and getting out of the door. It all take maybe 30 seconds. Longest probably 40.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long. And then did he try to do something? No, he just tried to get in, and then he got angry or something behind me.
The
You mean
DMH
DMH?
guy?
Yeah, the image guy was kind of startled.
Did he tell you why he was angry?
It was, and then he said, "때렸어? 맞았어요? 때렸어요?"
He spoke to you in Korean.
In
basically,
Korean.
Whether
So
you got strike or you got hit.
yeah. That's what he said. 아니요. I was thinking, why is he asking these kind of questions?
Wow. Okay.
And then he said, 경찰한테 얘기하셔야 됩니다. So what's going on? Why?
You
Oh,
said
so
you got to talk to the police.
You have to talk to that.
Yeah.
that he must meaning that your son must have hit you. You have to tell the police. But he didn't hit me, and why I have to tell the police? I don't know what's going on. And then he said, now we have to give a call to police. 경찰 전화해야 되겠습니다. I thought when he said that, I thought, this must be the procedure to take a patient to the hospital. I don't know.
He didn't explain.
No, he didn't explain that he's making a 911 call or anything. I found out later.
Did you ever listen to his call to the
No,
LAPD?
I was not.
You still haven't heard to this point.
He was talking on the phone, but
You were next to him.
I was walking down first.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was trying to make a phone call, and then
While he's getting out the apartment.
actually on the second floor, just 3 steps
Oh, wow.
away from the door,
He started calling
he was trying to
LAPD.
call very quickly. So he made a call to police, maybe altogether 3-4 minutes after he arrived.
Did you actually listen to his conversation with the
I
LAPD?
couldn't because I don't want to hear what they're saying.
Did you ever
I'm not that
listen to
kind
it
of person.
afterwards, after this happened? Because there's a recording of the 911 call.
That's the first time I heard.
You actually listened to it at some point before you come here today.
The video.
Because he said your son was very violent and tried to kick.
Yeah, I was thinking after I saw that, what he's talking about.
That didn't happen.
He was not a boy.
Have you ever heard of DMH before? You
What do you
called?
mean?
Like, did you know what DMH was?
before
Like
this
before
incident.
that day?
One thing that I know about DMH is my son had some of those times that he was not 100% healthy, and then the DMH came over to his apartment, and then they talked to Young sometime, and then successfully they
Calmed him
took
down.
to the hospital.
Okay.
That's what you thought was going to happen.
Yeah, that was very good times. Yeah.
So-
and then sometimes they come, and then I heard that they talk to Young, and then Young seems okay,
Right.
so they just leave. Sometimes Young doesn't want to go to a hospital, so they just leave. And then sometimes police come, and then they said, "Okay, are you in danger or?" No, so he's not opening the door, and then the police has nothing to do with the patient who is calm inside, so they just leave.
Yeah.
All that kind of experiences tells me that when I call DMH, they will come and assess my son, and if they find Young needs to go to hospital, they will help. If they find if Young is okay, they will leave.
Right.
That's what I know about DMH.
So, like I said, I have friends in DMH who are psychiatrists, psychologists, clinicians who has patients, and then they were dispatched with the PMRT team to when there's a crisis, mental illness crisis, whether they're suicidal, whether they're acting violent, they go there to try to de-escalate. And then you wanted to mention something about there was nothing to escalate.
I was thinking at the time, they are supposed to de-escalate. Why escalate? And then I realized that, you know what? Actually, when I saw him last, his situation is not high energy, situation. He was calm. There's nothing to de-escalate. They could have just left him alone. But somehow they escalate. They excite. They agitate the situation, and then this happened. I don't understand.
Do you think the DMH person entering your apartment basically triggered initially his kind of agitation?
One triggering, but that's just 15 seconds thing. And then if he felt he's violent and he's violated, he could have just left. What did Young do?
Right.
He didn't do anything.
To him.
No, not at all. Why is so excited and make a phone call to 911 to invite police? That is one thing that is very wrong. And then after that, then he was crazy and doing something inside. No, he's calm. Again, nothing is changed.
Right.
Now we came down. and police showed up. It was really quiet in there. Only goal I had in mind was to get help from DMH or whatever who they are, and then to make my son go to hospital to get some help. That's all I wanted.
So
and then when police showed up, he was then violent? No.
I want to ask a question that pertains to before this thing happened, before you called DMH, because DMH person also on the telephone call said you slept in the car with your wife the night
Yeah,
before.
my choice.
Right.
Yeah.
And then was there a reason why you slept in your car?
Yeah, because the night before he was visiting, we ate dinner, and then he wanted to stay over, but obviously he was not well, and he couldn't fall asleep. When your son is not in good condition and couldn't sleep, I cannot sleep either. Then I have kind of my nerve is also,
On edge.
yeah. And then when he
So what was he doing? He was just walking around the apartment,
not much, but
Yeah.
to me,
just keeping you
I
up.
want
Yeah.
him to just stay quiet.
Right.
But sometimes he has to go to the bathroom, he has to walk around. Not much noise, but I begin to kind of tell him what to do. Just stay calm.
Yeah.
That kind of saying as a father. And I didn't like it. So he cannot take good rest. I cannot take a good rest. Why don't I just move away a little bit? Because that's what I learned, raising my son and watching over my son over 40 years now. And then when he is not in good mood, just leaving him alone is much better. So, okay, Young, Mom and I are just gonna go out. So you take care of my cats, and then you take care of home, okay? Then he feels kind of odd why we are leaving. I mean, he's okay at that
Right.
point. And then he said, "Okay, Dad, don't worry, I'll take good care of them."
I
Yeah.
see. Because
So
that's
we were-
not how this was portrayed. Even the PMRT person, when they call, it made it seem like because he was violent, you guys had to sleep in the car night before. And then that was communicated to LAPD, and LAPD officer who basically got that information told another LAPD who came later as a backup
You know
to
what?
say the exact same information.
If they use that as I don't know, the professionals have to assess the situation. How do I say it? First person basis. If they come and see what's going on.
Right.
If someone is calm, and then the father is saying that he's not violent at all, and then once the son goes to hospital, those are the main sources of information. But how suddenly all these policemen was talking between them, behind me, on the staircase, hey, as if they are giving reasons why.
Yeah.
Their parents didn't go to. He has to leave the home. Son pushed him out. They had to stay in the car.
Right.
They have no place to go. What kind of I don't know, BS they're talking about?
They're trying to paint a picture for themselves.
What for? What I don't understand is they don't know why they are here. They are here supposed to assist the DMH guy to make the son goes to hospital.
Yeah.
But they just saying something totally different thing.
Well, I think one of the dangers is if somebody's having a mental health crisis incident, and then all of a sudden you bring all these officers, right, to interact with them, that could definitely escalate a situation, right?
Absolutely.
Because now I'm looking at officers, and it usually triggers in me like something's bad, right? Something bad is happening, right? And then it can really escalate. That's what DMH is there for, right? Because it's supposed to, they're going to try to de-escalate.
You said first two officers showed up, right, initially. Yeah. Did they identify themselves as who they are? Like being part of the SMART team?
No.
Okay. They didn't tell you they're part of the SMART team.
Yeah, first thing they ask is, even before they come out of the petrol car, sitting in the car, me and the DMH guy standing, he asked, "Where's the key?"
I see.
I don't know why they want.
They didn't tell
where the
you
key
they're part of the
is.
SMART team or what they plan to do?
No.
Okay.
It seems like they don't know anything.
Well, I think only when the sergeant came, right? The sergeant eventually came on the
Surgeon
scene.
even didn't know anything. Every time when they showed up, they asked the same questions over and over.
To you?
To me. Who's in there? What's his name? Is he armed? Do you have guns? All that kind of stuff. So they don't communicate between them? I don't know. When Sergeant came, the last moment she began to know the situation, but situation totally wrong. He is not violent. He's alone. He's upstairs. Why they decide to attack in that way?
So from what I have seen on the video, there's conversation about charging your son with a criminal trespass, and that's talked by the surgeon. And she says, basically, we may have to lay a hand on him. That's the word that she used, right? Did you clearly understand what she meant?
I understood what she said
Okay.
because I understand some English. So I understood what she said, but I didn't understand that as she's gonna do it. She asked me if I understand. Yeah, I understand. Is understanding as same as taking it as what she's gonna do? No, that's totally different thing.
Wait, so
right?
you're saying you understand that she may have to do it, but you didn't know that she was actually going to do it?
Of
Is that
course
what you're
not.
saying? Yeah.
What for?
Yeah.
And then she said, Young might get hurt. So I thought maybe a scratch or a bruise. 3 bullet shots? No. She even told me that if a patient or young doesn't want to go to hospital, she cannot do anything. That's what she said. She cannot do anything. And then if only I tell them, my son is not patient, he's trespassing, I don't want him there, take him out, then they can do something.
Right.
But I didn't say anything like that.
You didn't give him consent.
Of course not. And then she said if they put a hand on my son, he might get hurt. I understand, but I told them right away, but he has to go to hospital. What does it mean? He's not a criminal. And after I seen the video when they went up there and talking with my son, they said my son clearly told them he doesn't want them. He said, "You're not invited. I don't want to be killed." Isn't it clear enough that he doesn't want to come out? Then they have no right to do anything. They have to just leave, as they said to me. If patient doesn't want to go to hospital, they cannot do anything. But they made a decision. Oh, no, we have to use force.
Well, where was the DMH Korean representative when you were talking to the police?
Oh, he was on the street.
So he wasn't there. He wasn't part of the conversation.
I don't know why he was not talking.
Because I'm just, when I watched the video, at least just the video the LAPD released, to me, there's some miscommunication.
A lot of miscommunication.
Right? Like, it feels like you're not fully understanding what they're saying. So I'm wondering, well, there is a Korean representative there, right? From DMH. Like, why are they not involved in the conversation?
Because he had a 15-second interaction with your son, and he doesn't understand what's going on either.
Well, I'm saying being there to translate, at least for him, in terms of what the
But
police
is he
officers
required to
are
do
saying.
that? Is
I don't know.
question,
I mean,
guess.
and that's the thing I'm talking about, right? Like, we as people within the city, right? Like citizens of Los Angeles, we don't really know the process, right? Like, how is DMH supposed to interact with LAPD, right? How is DMH supposed to interact with the SMART team within LAPD? Like, what is the process? Because if we knew that, then he would have a better ability to kind of control their actions, right? But because he didn't know that, I mean, he couldn't control their actions.
I thought that I trusted police and then DMH. They're professionals. I'm not professional. And so if a non-professional like me has to control them with such a good knowledge of if they're doing the right thing or not, then they're not professional. I'm the professional. So when they are there to help me as professionals, I just rely on them.
Right. You trusted their
Yeah, of
decisions.
course.
No, that's
Yeah.
reasonable.
That's very
I think we all trust that, when we call 911, they're going to do the right thing, right? They're going to dispatch the people we need to help us out of the situation, and then things are going to be okay.
Especially that phone number in DMH. If you go to the website, and then there are many different numbers: 911, 988, and the DMH 1-800 number. There are a comparison chart between them.
Right.
The number that I call has nothing to do with the police force.
Right.
The other two has to do with police. So I didn't ask for police to come, but they call police, and then I just believe that, there must be a procedure.
When your wife called 911, you said your wife called 911 at some point, right? Or DMH?
Yeah, the day before maybe. Normally, 911 is the only number that
Right.
we know. So she asked the question, and then they said, go to a DMH 800 number. They actually gave the number to my wife, and then okay, then she called the number, and then actually the May the 1st, for the day before, she called and she asked questions for 20 minutes, and then even after 20 minutes of a talk, we decided not to get any help. And then next day, over the night, and then we kind of made a decision, my wife and I, okay, probably DMH help will be very useful for us. So that's why I called, and then that's totally wrong. It's a very dangerous call. I want my son back. They cannot call themselves professional. They are not qualified more than patient himself or patient's family member. They were less prepared. Even after the incident, I met many Koreans in police. They didn't care too much.